Two Oakland legends just had the meetup the internet didn't know it needed. Zendaya and Olympic figure skating gold medalist Alysa Liu, both proud products of the Oakland School for the Arts, crossed paths at the Louis Vuitton Fall-Winter 2026 runway show in Paris on Tuesday. And the footage spreading across social media is everything fans hoped for. And honestly, if you know anything about the East Bay, you already knew this moment was going to hit different, because this isn't just two famous people bumping into each other at a fashion show. This is two girls from the same Oakland hallways, the same Bay Area energy, the same scrappy creative roots, ending up on one of the most prestigious stages in the world together. So, let's talk about it. In one video making the rounds on X, the two are locked in what looks like genuine, unscripted conversation. Liu is fully animated, grinning, talking with her whole face the way you do when you're actually excited about what you're saying. Not performing for cameras, just genuinely vibing. And Zendaya, who has been on every red carpet known to mankind at this point, is right there with her, fully engaged, fully present. There's no awkward celebrity small talk energy here. This looked like two people who actually had something to say to each other. And then there's the second clip, which honestly might be even better. They go to take a photo. Liu throws up a peace sign, big smile, totally herself, and Zendaya slides in behind her. Double peace signs, full pout, completely unbothered, photobombing her own photo with someone she just met. And then she leans down and pulls Liu into a hug. That's it. That's the whole moment. And yet somehow it encapsulates both of them perfectly. Now, if you don't know Alysa Liu's story, let me catch you up because it is genuinely one of the most compelling rises in recent sports history. Alysa Liu is 19 years old. She was raised in Richmond, California, trains in Oakland, and she just came back from the Milan Winter Olympics with gold. Not a podium finish, not a strong showing gold. The kind of performance that turns a regional talent into a global name overnight. And what made her Olympic moment even more talked about beyond the skating itself was her whole presence, her style, specifically the bleached halo hair, the frenulum piercing, which she casually revealed she did herself. By the way, that's just a normal thing to drop into conversation. The way she carried herself, unbothered, cool, completely her own person, in an environment that usually pressures athletes into a very specific, very polished, very corporate kind of image. And that personal authenticity is exactly what she brought to Paris. She showed up to the Louis Vuitton Fall-Winter 2026 show in a brown denim jacket and matching baggy jeans at a Louis Vuitton show in Paris, and it worked because it was completely genuinely her. She told W Magazine that the Bay Area shaped her fashion sense, and you could see that in real time. There's a specific kind of confidence that comes from growing up in the East Bay. This refusal to perform for other people's comfort, this commitment to just being exactly who you are wherever you are. Alysa Liu walked into one of fashion's most high-profile rooms, and she walked in as herself. And that's not a small thing. For her, this was the first major fashion show she'd ever attended. Let that sink in for a second. Her first one. And she's standing next to Zendaya, who at this point has practically made the front row of Paris Fashion Week her second home. Zendaya has been doing this for years. The Met Gala, the Oscars, Cannes, every major red carpet you can think of. And she has consistently shown up as one of the most talked about style presences in any room she enters. So for Liu to be standing next to her at her very first show, holding her own, being fully herself, looking like she belonged there, that's a statement. But let's be honest, as much as the Zendaya and Liu reunion was the wholesome centerpiece of Tuesday's event, Zendaya herself showed up carrying a whole separate storyline that the internet was not going to let slide. She was also spotted at the show with Chase Infinity, who stars in one battle after another, Blackpink's Lisa, and Ana de Armas from Eden. So the guest list alone was already giving major moment energy. But what people could not stop talking about was the outfit, and specifically one very small, very specific detail. Zendaya wore a white dress to the show, a bridal white dress, and on her ring finger what appeared to be a wedding band. Now context is everything here because this was Zendaya's first public appearance since her longtime stylist and close friend Laura Roach told the media that she and Tom Holland had secretly gotten married. Roach was there with her at the show on Tuesday, and neither Zendaya nor Tom Holland has confirmed or denied anything. Not a single word from either of them. But what Zendaya did do, and this part is kind of iconic honestly, is she seemed very aware of exactly where every camera was pointed. There are photos from the event where she is visibly deliberately covering her ring finger while posing, and she's laughing while she does it like she knows exactly what she's doing. She knows everyone is watching and she is choosing to say absolutely nothing, while also saying everything. That's a level of media control that very few people can pull off. And she just did it at a Paris fashion show, while also making everyone's day by hugging an Olympic gold medalist. She and Tom Holland have been doing this dance with the public for years now, and they met in 2016 on the set of Spider-Man: Homecoming. And for a long time, there was nothing confirmed, nothing public, just speculation and rumors and the occasional tabloid story. Then in 2021, paparazzi photographed them kissing in a car, and that was that they were out whether they wanted to be or not. Since then, they've been about as private as two of the most famous people on the planet can reasonably be. Which is to say, not very private, but they've managed to keep the actual substance of their relationship largely to themselves. No joint interviews, no public declarations, nothing handed over to the media machine that didn't have to be. And now, apparently, they may be married, and they're still not saying a word. And honestly, at this point, you have to respect the commitment to the bit. Alysa Liu, for her part, is at a very different stage of figuring out what fame means for her life. She went from being a talented regional athlete to a globally recognized name in the span of one Olympic performance. And that transition is not easy, and she has been pretty open about the fact that it is a lot to navigate. Last week, she posted to her Instagram story about landing at an airport and being immediately surrounded by fans with cameras, people getting into her personal space, someone following her all the way to her car. She didn't name the airport, but she was direct about how she felt about it. "Please do not do that to me," she wrote. And you can hear in that phrasing that she is not trying to be ungrateful or dismissive of her fans' excitement. She's just a 19-year-old who is still figuring out where the line is between public life and personal space. And she's asking people to respect that line, which is part of what makes her affinity with Zendaya make so much sense, because Zendaya has been in this exact position. She got famous young, she got famous fast, and she has spent years very deliberately and very thoughtfully constructing a public presence that feels authentic without surrendering everything private. She's given interviews, she's walked red carpets, she's talked about her work, but she's also drawn clear lines and she has held them. Liu is clearly in the process of learning how to do the same thing, and seeing her in conversation with someone who has already figured it out, at least to the degree that anyone in that position can figure it out, feels significant. Since the Olympics, Liu has been on a press tour that has taken her all across the country. She's appeared on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. She's been featured in Rolling Stone and Teen Vogue. She has become almost overnight the kind of name that publications and late-night shows and fashion houses are all reaching for at the same time. And through all of it, she keeps coming back to the Bay Area, keeps centering her identity and where she came from, keeps crediting Oakland and Richmond for making her who she is. And the Bay Area is very much returning that energy. When she's been home, fans have spotted her out and about living her life. At the Target in Emeryville, at Baco in Alama, at a 16 in Rockage. Normal places, normal activities, just a kid from Richmond who won Olympic gold and still wants to go to Target. The Graffiti Collective, the Illuminaries, who are well known in Oakland for honoring community figures through public art, painted a full mural commemorating her. And on Thursday, March 12th, the city of Oakland is throwing her a free public rally at Frank H. Ogawa Plaza, which is the kind of civic celebration that Oakland reserves for people who genuinely represent what the city stands for. And that's really what this whole moment in Paris was about underneath the fashion and the celebrity and the potential secret wedding drama. It was about two people who came from the same place who both chose to stay connected to that place, even as the world pulled them in 100 different directions, finding each other in a room on the other side of the world and recognizing something familiar. The Bay shaped them both. Their style, their confidence, their refusal to be anything other than exactly themselves regardless of what room they're in. That's not an accident. That's a specific kind of upbringing, producing a specific kind of person. Zendaya has been one of the defining cultural figures of her generation for years now. Alysa Liu is just getting started. And the fact that their paths crossed in Paris at this moment with the whole internet watching, that's a full circle story that the East Bay absolutely deserves. 2 Oakland kids, 1 Paris runway. The Bay stays winning.